Welcome to this third chapter on Project 78 to really easy upgrade your Red Hat 7 systems and migration to Red Hat 8, or also for CentOS 7 and going over to Rocky Linux 8. So let's have a look at our exercise. We see here that for the previous exercise we already had installed our dashboard and it's running at this IP address. So what's in store for these exercises? So here we have our exercises. So first of all, it says go to your dashboard and click on the plus button. Select the target OS, Red Hat 8, okay, and then connect to our second to be upgraded server. The first one we will do using this on-prem installation. So let's do just that. You see here we have this plus button here, and this allows us to just say, okay, we want to go with our new system over to Red Hat 8, or we can also say Red Hat 8.6. We can also go to Rocky Linux 8 or Rocky Linux 8.6. In the future, new versions such as 8.8 will be added as well. So in this case, just keep it on Red Hat 8, and then we see here two things we can copy paste. You have a nice copy paste button here, and it is a long command with some sudo, and then it checks if the client is there, and it will automatically download and execute it in the prepare statement. See actually here at the end that it will run the client software with the IP address of the server, and then the audit statement, followed by our target operating system, Red Hat 8. This is what we'll do to prepare the state server to basically make it ready for upgrading. And after that, we can, when we're feeling ready, when we have taken a backup, perform the actual upgrade with the run-no audit and also Red Hat 8 argument. So let's just copy here this. Let's copy and then go to our web 002 server. So as you know, we have here in our etc host file some machine specifically for us, and our web 401 we already upgraded using the cloud provided server. Web 402, this is the one we will connect to right now, and we will use our own on-prem server for that. So we see we're now logged in as the student user on the system. Obviously the client needs root privileges, but our student user is able to perform a sudo. So voila, that's good. So we can just paste our code which we right here, and let's have a second look at what we're pasting into our server. Well, basically we're checking if it's already there. Otherwise we're using curl to download it using also our server license, and then our action, we extract the client. Otherwise we say the server is not reachable, and then we execute it with the IP of our server and the audit and Red Hat 8 as an argument. Okay, just press and we see that it's checking the connection now. If there would be a proxy in between, which is normally not the case in a intranet, it would complain about it. And we see that it's starting to perform the audit, and also here we see being progressed on our dashboard, where we can follow all the checks it's performing. Great job. So it's checking versions, the boot methods, which kind of XFS, some bugs in Leap for that. Disk space verification, hardware requirements, different kind of file systems, applications, collecting data, detecting PHP myadmin, giving a warning with respect to that, and lots of other software. So while it's doing that, I can go over them. checking old RPM save files to make sure if there are new ones that we are reported about that they're migrated as well. Checking our Docker processes, checking our important processes, checking our non-standard RPMs. All of these things are being performed during this audit phase. So it will run for a little while before it will continue. Almost before we're ready to continue. So let's just wait for it to finish. As the leap pre-upgrade is part of that audit process. This is one which takes the longest time. Voila, and now it's finished. Gives some warnings, but all of them are okay. So good. That's our first exercise. Sorry, our third exercise already. Voila, we're able to do that. Now, it also says ensure your Red Hat registration details are in the Project78 server configuration on your P78 server virtual machine. So enter your Red Hat username, your email address, and your password to be so that the server is able to perform the re-registration when it is upgrading. Also, we want to have access to the repositories, and for that we use the Project78 provided cloud repositories so that the upgrade can go fluently during the upgrade process. Because we don't have here our other internal repository setup, we use the ones provided by the cloud version. So first of all, going to our Project78 server. Back to our Project78 server. Voila, there we are. And now we're going to go inside our Project78 server directory. There we are. And inside our examples directory, there we find a custom use cloud repo .tgz. And we're going to extract it here so that it's inside our custom directory. Let's first maybe have a look at the contents. Voila. We'll see that indeed it's going to create subdirectory custom, so we're in the correct location to perform that. Voila. Good. So let's have a look in the custom directory now. And we'll see that we have now our custom version. We have some files in there. Let's see all the repository files, our local repo pointing to in between intermediate repositories. And then for Red Hat 7, Red Hat 8, and Red Hat 8.6, we have the cloud repositories. Also, we are going to edit our Red Hat subscription details. Now, we have already a file for that inside our home student directory. It does contain the Red Hat subscription details of myself, so I'm not going to show them to you, but they contain RH user and RH password as it is written here. So I'm just copying them over to the custom directory into the file subdirectory. Voila, that's all it takes. And now we need to incorporate these changes into the client. So let's do that. Project78 server, update client. Voila, this is going to integrate those changes. And also very interesting to know what the other commands are for Project78 that we can start, stop, up. So let's have a look at our fifth exercise. So yeah, we update client, so that's what we already did. And then we run the audit again by copy pasting it again into the web 002, or in some case 402. So web 402, good. And then copy pasting it again. And we should also see it being updated here once more. Good. And let's have a look, sneak peek at our next exercise already. Yeah, we discuss potential alerts with the teacher, so we already looked at that. We can also make some improvements if it's necessary, but that's not the case now. Good. After that, we will perform the actual upgrade server command. So, still running. We'll make it probably a bit faster here. Voila, it ran okay. So we're ready to proceed with our actual upgrade. So we click again on our plus button, and now we still see that Red Hat 8 is selected here. That's good. And now we're going to do the actual upgrade command. So voila, going here. And we're going to copy our command here. And see here that it now performs the run -no audit. So voila. It's starting, checking the versions, stopping all enabled processes, which means that if you have special applications running, they will be stopped, and as the system is going to reboot multiple times during the operation, they will not be started during these multiple reboots, in this way ensuring that you don't end up with corrupt data or something like that if the application would not behave properly, if it gets started and stopped too quickly. On the other hand, also this has performance advantages. It's not necessary to start your application and while the system is still being upgraded. So, but at the end of the process, all the disabled servers will be re-enabled and also will be verified if they are basically running properly. And this is for all the non-standard services, all things you might have extra installed with the systemd service and also processes which are running important processes which are deemed non-standard. So, and we can filter, of course, those as we will see in the next chapters. Good, so that's running very well. So it also did a potential kernel check, and how it was performing a upgrade. The first step in upgrading your Red Hat 7 or CentOS 7 system to version 8 is to perform an actual upgrade to the latest 7.9 release. This ensures the upgrade will go smoothly and could also possibly involve another reboot after which it will automatically continue. So it's not something we need to worry about. We also see here, because this will take a while, let's have a look at the next and final exercise on this chapter. Have a look at the frequently asked questions of Project78, and that's this link. So here we see the frequently asked questions, the support page, and let's have a look at the frequently asked questions. A bit bigger, so we can go over them. In the meantime, we see on the background here our run, something orange, but it's not a problem. It just says that it hasn't detected the sifs in this case. So voila. So what's in this fact? We have lots of questions and answers. Let's have a look at those. So why is the name Project78? Well, we have been doing projects for a very long time to automate Linux upgrades, and so yeah, being able to automatically upgrade from Red Hat 7 to 8, 7, 8, Project 78. That's where it's come from. Now we realize that we might also, you know, be able to go to other distributions and things like that. We'll stick with the name. We like it. It's a nice name. So that's where it comes from. What are the prerequisites for Project 78? Well, we need at least 2 gigabytes of RAM. However, so for the systems to be upgraded, and a slash boot partition of at least 250 megabytes, although a half a gigabyte is better. And we actually recommend if you install new systems to make it 1 gig. So if there are issues with respect to the hardware requirements, also during the audit, the Project 78 software will tell that, and so that's not really something we need to worry about. Making a full backup or a snapshot prior to the actual upgrade is something you should really do. Obviously, it's just good practice. It's not something we think you will actually need, but it's something which is interesting. Also, towards the applications owners, typically we say, okay, we keep the snapshot for 2 weeks, so that if anything comes up, and you can just roll back to the situation from before the operating system upgrade. Or extra reassurance can never hurt. Then, should we stop the applications before the preparation? Well, not really. So the preparation audit is a snapshot, and if the application is not running, we cannot determine that it should be running and that it should be running after the installation. So do not stop your applications when you run the audit. Now, if you want to stop your application before the actual upgrade, that's no problem, but do it after you've run the audit then. Okay. And also make sure that you run the audit relatively short time before the actual upgrade, because if there is a space limitation, you want to know that before the upgrade. So there you have to play with. Typically, we do a first audit of the environment, just when we initially start, and then we address all the issues there are in all the different systems. Just easy because you can sort on issues, and then for hundreds of systems fix all the issues. Just the limited amount of things you do have to do, like clean up disk space and things like that. And after that, well, we're basically ready. But once you are, plan the upgrade window of specific servers, then we are going to run the audit again, just the day before, or even shorter before the actual upgrade. Is there any downtime during the upgrade process with Project 78? Yes, there is. The system will stop the important processes, will perform lots of updates and lots of reboots. Normally 2, could be 3, depending on the situation. In that case, your system will be ready afterwards. It will start the services which were enabled before the upgrade also again. And most of the cases we are very happy with the result, even from the application level. So typically we could expect a total downtime of between 25 or 45 minutes. Towards users, application owners, it can be interesting to just communicate 1 hour, just to be on the safe side. Of course, there are certain things with respect to performance which can impact these timings. When you perform these things on your environment, you will also, of course, be able to look at those things. Good. Third question, does Red Hat Inc. Support Project 78 upgraded systems? Well, yeah, every upgrade performed with Project 78 comes with 3 months of upgrade support from Linux Belgium. This means that if there are specific issues related with the upgrade process, obviously we take ownership for that and we help you to troubleshoot those things. Now, there are two ways of upgrading with Project78. With its enhanced Leap upgrade, we incorporate basically the Leap upgrade tool, but we automate everything which good system administrators need to do to make it useful. It works around really lots of different bugs. It deals automatically with the limitations of Leap, and it will also improve shortcomings with Leap. So you won't end up with the quality of Leap upgraded systems is not that great. There are some leftover packages, and we also clean up those things, so that you really have even a better resulting system than what standard Leap would do. And obviously Red Hat does support systems upgraded with Leap, so we don't really see an issue there. With respect to the policies of Red Hat, of course, we cannot make any guarantees. We are not Red Hat. We are another company. We provide a service. We provide aid for customers of Red Hat to give them a better experience and to make it easier for them to enjoy the upgraded world of Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8. So, and also for those using a clone like CentOS, going over to Red Hat to Rocky Linux 8 is easier in this way. Good. Can you set up a proof of concept for Project78 on-prem for us? Well, basically one of the reasons for us to make the cloud version of Project78 was to allow people like you who ask this to easily test our software. Setting up an on-prem server, well, it's not that difficult. We do it in the exercises, and you saw just have to register and then run the installer. Just a few comments. It's not very difficult, but still there is a certain there's some network configuration to be done. There's a VM which needs to be put in place. It's not super direct that you can be tested. By using our cloud software, you can directly test it. You can just immediately start using it and know what the result is to be expected for your servers. And you can test really strange environments, things you are concerned about, and this will give you a lot of trust in our solution, and so you can go ahead and purchase Project78 on-prem from us. Why do we use a per server cost model? Well, this per server cost model is introduced by Red Hat a long time ago, so it does align a little bit with the expectations of corporate cost structures. Of course, we believe that our upgrade as a service business model really offers a very big added value to what needs to be accomplished otherwise. So we do believe that we have a significant amount of extra value. Now, aside from that, we vow to use those funds also for the open source community. I mean, we have been working for Linux software for 25 years. And this is a very big commitment, and we also want to give more transparency there compared to other companies in the sector. There are lots of different open source projects we already contribute to and support, so obviously we expect that the funds from this Project78 will also allow us to better finance these open source projects which are underfunded. Will we support other versions and distribution variants? Well, there is some talk about other distribution support as well. We cannot make any commitments there. Oh, by the way, we now see also that we are already in the post-installation phase. And in this part, DNF update, it is going to further update from our Red Hat 8 to our Red Hat 8.7, which is the latest current release. Good. Then do we support upgrading service running specific or commercial software version on top of Red Hat 7 or CentOS 7? And yes, we do. So I think this is one of the big benefits. The standard leap tool of Red Hat just removes non-Red Hat signed software, which can be very annoying. We ensure your software keeps on running. If it's part of the repositories, we already can find it automatically. Otherwise, we suggest placing custom RPMs for the specific Red Hat 8 version in the /root directory, so it's already there to be installed. Now, not all software might be supported yet. If you have a few systems which are similar and you have problems to automate that into the recipes, then we can of course also assist there. If it's a significant amount of servers, we perform that free of charge, or if it's a common software being widely used, so it's applicable for many of our customers. Of course, we also will do that free of charge. We basically want to push this forward and make it as easy as possible for as many users as possible. And you can also do that yourself in the customization, which we'll see in the next chapters. Can we upgrade an unregistered Red Hat 7 system? Yes, it is. However, we do say, okay, you know, we expect our customers that they have a Red Hat subscription and that they will, of course, re-register the Red Hat 8 systems. When we do an upgrade on the cloud, we expect the customers to do that afterwards. When we do an on-prem upgrade, we can do that automatically, registration through the satellite or directly through Red Hat subscription model. What are the type of internet connections required for cloud-based upgrade? Well, basically, you have to think into terms of bandwidth. So there are 3-4 gigabytes of packages being downloaded. So your internet network connection should be able to handle that. Also, if you have a corporate proxy like an HTTP or HTTPS proxy, even with authentication, we do support that. So very practical for that. SOX proxy servers are currently not supported by Project78. If you're in the case of needing support for that, please reach out for us. And if you have a significant number of servers, we also add that. How much data does each server upgrade download? Well, between 1 or 4 gigabytes of data, depending on the amount of software you have installed. So, but yeah, it's more towards 4 than towards 1 gigabyte. How is data security guaranteed for Project78 cloud server upgrades? Well, this is a very important question, and this goes also down to the way Linux upgrades work, and you might know that in your repositories you can configure that your individual packages, their signature should be checked, and this is a very strong cryptographic signature. So these packages have been signed by Red Hat or by CentOS and or other distribution providers or owners of repository servers, and we ensure that these signatures are correct. Aside from that, we also use a HTTPS connection, of course, to ensure that we conform to the industry standard security measures and don't introduce any issues there. Good. Also, with respect to support, if you issue a support ticket and provide full details there about your server environment, we do not copy important sensitive files like etc shadow, etc password, etc group to avoid data exposure. Also, we keep your data only as long as necessary to address the problem, and this will only happen in case of you issuing a support ticket, and you will also get a warning there and possibility to review all data prior to submitting it. Good. Voila, that's it for the FAQ. We were able to go through it entirely while the system was being updated. Great. So how far along are we? So we're here in the DNF upgrade process. So there we are still upgrading the system. Good, good, good. And we also see a date and time here. So this there we see 12:52, and we started at 12:34. So that was without it. With the actual upgrade process, we started at 12:40. So we're about 12 minutes in the upgrade process. And we've progressed nicely, if you can see, as you can see. Because we're just waiting for the system, we can also, of course, in the meantime, have a connection, look at our web 402 system, what's happening. So let's become a root user. Connecting to the system while it's being updated is not always possible, and there is a part here at the end of the run which means that there is no connection to the system. Once it's through that, we can connect. Before it's there, we can connect to the system, see what's going on. So ps-f, we see that there's some kernel installation going on in the record. Top. You can also see there gzip is now doing on DNF is still busy doing its work. Now you can also follow the progress in the root Project78 directory, and there we have the data subdirectory. Inside the data subdirectory we see a post-install DNF update. So this is the actual process running right now. You see that it's almost through it there. Maybe move to the side. Let's see if it continues. Okay, it's still busy. Yeah, with GCC. Okay. Voila. So that's complete. And you see that now it's continuing the Python and so on. So progressing nicely. Making some migrations. Here with the additional RPMs, it will also take a while because it will add missing RPMs after the installation and things which were installed prior to the upgrade. So let's look there. So voila, there you go. Let's see there the additional installation log. So you see there some extra RPMs being added, things which were there in the past, so they need to be present again. Good. See the bullet there. So back to the registration. There's some .rpm files, they are preserved, and then enabled services. I'm going to say about that. And voila, now the system is restarting, and if this system was running as a Linux enabled prior to the upgrade, it also means that at the end the system will also run as a Linux again. This is an important thing. We preserve the as a Linux state. Now, some organizations in the past had the habit of disabling as a Linux on Red Hat 7. And we noticed that some organizations, they want to also make the opportunity of going over from Red Hat 7 to Red Hat 8 to introduce as a Linux. Now, this is something we actually propose that this should be a different project. Why? Well, as we preserve the as a Linux state, this means that if you want to enable as a Linux, already go ahead and introduce that in your Red Hat 7 systems. If the system is being upgraded to Red Hat 8, the state will be preserved and it will keep on working. Now, on the other hand, if you are going to go from a Red Hat 6 or from a Red Hat 7 system, which upgrade operating system, and then in the same time also enable as a Linux, is a possibility. But if something goes wrong, your application doesn't function properly, is it because of the enabling of as a Linux, or is it because of your operating system change? This makes it harder. If you have a difficult problem like operating system upgrade, do you really want to make it even more difficult by introducing this thing? And you do have to realize enabling as a Linux will break a lot of things. So please make it into a separate project. Then you know when you introduce as a Linux that you are breaking it and that you can address it. And also you build the expertise in your team to enable as a Linux for lots of different applications. And you will configure as a Linux more better, properly as a result. So please, turn it into a separate project aside from the operating system. As a general rule of thumb, the philosophy of our software is to keep the operating system upgrade as light as possible, because everything is already changing underneath. So it's really a giant leap forward. Let's not make it even more difficult. So voila, we have our system is upgraded now. So let's have a look at our system, and we see, okay, activate the web console. This is typical in Red Hat 8 that it does this. And let's have a look at our system. Yes, you can see start release. And we'll see running Red Hat Enterprise Linux 8.7. So that's of course really good to see. And if we didn't have to connect with SSH to our system, no, we already see here in the last one, the check version. It's an extra check. We are at 8.7, otherwise it would not be green. So voila, we're very happy with that. And this concludes our chapter 3 exercises of this course in Project 78. Good. See you next chapter.